So when we think about our frontline and essential workers, what are they looking for? Well, certainly at the top of the list, higher pay would be has its appeal for all of us. Who isn't attracted by higher pay? But that has become much more dramatic post-pandemic. And you have this flywheel effect where folks need to be making more because inflation is eating away at their day-to-day lifestyles. But the more those employees get paid, that of course fuels inflation. And that's of course what the Fed spends its days worrying about. But certainly higher pay is becoming an absolute price of poker. I speak with many customers on a daily basis, prospects and customers of Talroo's, and I hear the challenges and the stress in the voices of the recruiters who will try Talroo, they'll try Indeed, they'll try anyone in our space, they'll run billboards, they'll run radio ads, but they just don't pay enough. And you as a recruiter can't necessarily change that. You can talk about it and you can cajole and you can try to educate your leadership, but you can't snap your fingers and pay would-be employees more. And so it continues to be a struggle where the employers who are able to pay more are certainly starting to see the lion's share of the pool of available workers. So that's a real thing. As I mentioned earlier, some folks are just having a hard time getting out to go to their jobs if they have childcare issues. And the last two items are particularly interesting, and certainly the 80% figure there goes back to the 62% figure above it. If you are not showcasing your pay, and of course that pay needs to be competitive, you are at a disadvantage, period, full stop. The requirement to reveal pay rates now exists in California, Washington, Rhode Island, and it started, I think, in Colorado, certainly with Colorado. And there's legislation pending in New York, Massachusetts, South Carolina. This is going to become the norm. Law or no law, if you are not transparent about your pay, and if that pay is not competitive, you are at a disadvantage. And it is something that probably pains everyone on this call, but it is something that needs to be brought back to your executive leadership to the degree that your organization has the flexibility to make sure that it is competitive, to make sure it is leading edge. It is actually hard to overstate how important salary has become and the transparency around that salary. You think about a world where everyone else is showing their pay rates and you're not. The job seeker is not going to guess and say, "Oh, I wonder if this employer will pay me more than all the other employers who are on this search engine results page. Maybe they'll pay me more." They're not going to put in the effort. They're simply going to apply to those employers who are revealing competitive pay rates.